In this video we are going from this to this. Yes, we will take the melody from Sting's beautiful song Fields of Gold and we will make it sound wonderful on an acoustic guitar. If that sounds interesting to you, just pick up your old trusted acoustic and let's go, it will be fun. Before we start embellishing the melody, it is always a good idea to learn the melody without any ornamentation. This will give us a solid ground to base our arrangement around. And it will also help us to see and hear the melody in the purest form and how it connects with underlying chords. So let's play the melody to Fields of Gold without any frills or embellishments. So what do you say? The melody itself is beautiful, but without words and without any expression it just sounds quite boring, right? Playing each note with the same technique and without any dynamics just doesn't cut it. If we want to make this melody as powerful as it is when it is sung, we need to step up our game. We cannot use lyrics to give meaning to our notes, so we need to use all the other musical tools that are available to us to create something meaningful even without using words. When arranging melodies for any instrument, we need to know what are the strengths and weaknesses of that particular instrument, so we can use those strengths and maybe hide those weaknesses a bit. When it comes to acoustic guitar, I would say that the main strengths are its beautiful mellow tone and many possibilities how to play notes in an interesting way using different techniques and dynamics. While the biggest weakness is probably lack of sustain, so we cannot hold one note for far too long or it will disappear, and also sometimes notes might feel a little bit too thin. So with this in mind, let's try to bring this melody to life. We have plenty of options when it comes to different guitar techniques that we might use. We have the usual ones like slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, vibrato, bending, although in our case, if you want to play the melody down here, this isn't really a viable option on acoustic guitar. But we can also use micro embellishments like those vocal semitone wobbles. We can add dynamics, change rhythms, use double stops to harmonize the melody and fatten it up, or we can play the melody in different octaves. There are almost endless possibilities how to arrange a melody for acoustic guitar. One thing that we need to be careful about though is to not overdo it, so we don't end up with a mush full of embellishments where you can hardly recognize the original melody. So let's see what we can come up with. At the beginning we have two phrases which are basically the same, they just differ in the last note. First one stays on A, while the second one ends on B note. Since we are right at the beginning, we will start very simple to gently welcome the listener. I will not do anything fancy right here, this isn't the right spot for that. We will just use slide, little bit of dynamics and a subtle vibrato on the last notes. And when I play the phrase second time around, I will add a little thrill at the beginning to make it stand out a little bit more. Pretty sweet, right? Now we have this bit where Sting sings "Among the Fields of Barley." I will use the combination of hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides to play that phrase. I will first play the melody without any embellishments and then I will add it the second time around. As you can hear, I have added that semitone wobble at the end of the B note, which is just a slide from, very quick slide from 4th to 5th fret and then back again on the G string. And this is a thing that I've heard many great singers to do, to embellish their melodies. So I've decided to put it here, and I think it sounds very nice. So if you are not using this type of micro embellishments, try to use it in your next melody arrangement. Okay? Now we have the same melody as in the beginning, it just ends on A both times. We can play it the same as before, but to make it a little bit different, we will change the phrasing a bit. And it is a very subtle change, but I think it sounds good. Listen. And now we are approaching the final part of the melody, so we can be a little bit more courageous here. So instead of playing the simple melody, we can do following. This is not the exact melody that Sting sings, but I believe it sounds nice. The goal was to create something that would capture vocal fluidity while still sounding like a guitar thing. As I said before, when arranging for guitar, you don't have lyrics, so you need to use other strengths of guitar to make up for it. And sometimes that means taking a little bit of liberty with the melody. But if it sounds good, then I don't see any problem with that. At the end, I played two harmonics on the 7th fret of G and B string, and those lead me nicely to the harmonica melody, which is well played on the original recording, so I just wanted to stay as close to that as possible. Now for the second verse, we might want to try something else. To make the melody sound more interesting and bigger on an acoustic, we might use double stops to harmonize it. There are many possibilities which intervals to use, and we can go with thirds, fifths, sixths or octaves, or any other interval that would fit our needs. And we can also put this extra note above the melody or below the melody, so that gives us even more options. I've decided to go for a third above the melody note. I've heard Tommy Emmanuel to play it like that in his arrangements of Fields of Gold, and I really like that sound. And I've also included a note F sharp at the beginning as a pickup note to make it sound just a little bit more interesting. So instead of this simple melody, we have this. Now as the melody goes on, we might use all the embellishments that we have used before, just with added double stops. Pretty nice, right? And then we repeat the beginning again. And right before the melody ends, I've decided to take it an octave higher for yet another interesting moment for the listener. I've used a simple pentatonic run that takes me an octave higher. And again, I've used those hammer-on spool-off slides and slurs to get the most out of the melody. So if we put it all together, we will end up with this beautiful melody. I think it sounds pretty nice. What do you say? Let me know in the comments how you like it. So this is it for this video. Really hope you have learned something new and that you can apply to your own playing. and see you soon in another one. Thanks for watching and keep rocking.